real quick, I just want to say, if you haven't already, go ahead and download the Stardust app, right? And once you do that, you can go ahead and make like a 30-second or below reaction video or review on a movie or show that you just watched. And when you do that, make sure to tag me, Gator, right? And you can possibly be in a future movie or show review. Thank you. Every time. Every time.
Don't forget to stay tuned until the end for tonight's terrifying, heart-pounding, horrific, life or death question.
Okay.
You're not safe anywhere.
Duh.
This world is a strange one. Good evening, Night Watchers. As you sit down to listen to these creepy stories, some of you may have finished grocery shopping, or maybe you have plans to. And more than likely, a lot of you will be heading to Walmart. Oh yes, Walmart. Where awkward strangers and creepy people roam naturally. Walmart is huge, so it's no surprise that it attracts some very freaky people here and there. Tonight, Shippers and I bring you 5 true scary Walmart stories. This one's gonna be a doozy. Number 1. Walmart Parking Lot Encounter. Submitted by T720.
There we go.
Have you ever just rolled up in some parking lot and loitered? Like, maybe you just bought some food and you want to sit down, relax, and eat it before you get back on the road. Or maybe you need to text or call somebody, so you go and park.
Right.
Well, I had a bit of a habit a few years ago of ordering cheesy bread from Domino's, then parking at the usually empty side lot of my local Walmart. I was very much addicted to that new cheesy bread, and this Walmart stood right in front of a miles-long patch of woods. At the side where I usually parked, there was rarely ever anyone there, and the scenery was just nice. It beat eating and driving or sitting parked staring at traffic any day. So, I'd just sit in my truck and scarf down the cheesy delight, always wishing I had double marinara. On the night in question, it was about 8 o'clock, the time I usually got off work. I called in a late order of cheesy bread, picked it up, and parked by Walmart. But something was off tonight. I wasn't alone in the side lot. There was an old, solid black truck about 3 parking spaces away from me.
3 parking places too fucking close. 3 too close. What about your radius? What about your bubble? Huh? You already clucking up. I don't need to say it, but I feel like I need to say it. You know? What you doing? What you doing? That's 3 parking places to 3 parking places too close. Too close.
Its windows weren't at all tinted, and I could very plainly make out a person sitting in the driver's seat. Yes, there was no doubt someone was sitting in there, probably waiting on someone in Walmart, or maybe they had a Craigslist meetup and made Walmart their meeting place.
Oh, no.
I don't know, and so long as he didn't bother me, I didn't really care. That wasn't the weird part, though. This guy was just staring straight ahead. He didn't move an inch, just sat and stared. Being awkward, I watched the guy for a couple of minutes, ready to look away the moment he looked toward me. But he didn't budge. I watched him for several minutes. And still, he never moved. I was pretty weirded out. I remember looking in the direction he was looking, trying to see what was so interesting. But there was just a commercial truck and an otherwise empty lot. Then I thought, this guy is just in the middle of a really long stare. Hell, maybe he actually fell asleep with his eyes open. I mean, the guy wasn't doing anything wrong. I just couldn't help but feel a little nervous when I looked at him.
Hell no.
I shrugged and tried to focus on my snack. I nearly had a heart attack when I heard a loud tapping at my window. I turned. Jesus Christ, it was the same guy. He was standing at my door.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Look at you assuming stuff. Right? Look at you clucking up. Right? Look at you asking questions when you really should be eating your cheese bread. Shouts out to the cheese bread because them joints be hitting. Right? You should have been like, you should have been cautious. That's what nah. I'm almost lost at words. That's 3 parking places too close. That's all I gotta say. Like, what you doing, bruh? He gonna take your cheese bread and probably shove it up somewhere. Just saying. Just saying.
Tapping his knuckles on the glass of my driver window. What the hell, guy? Very reluctantly, I rolled down my window, and I made sure to stop it less than halfway down.
Wow.
I was already freaked out enough before he decided to march over here. What? I said. Yeah, I sounded a little bit rude, and I didn't mean to come off that way. I was just nervous. The guy had his hand behind his back, and the other that had been knocking on the window was all over the place. This guy, who had been so motionless before, was now scratching random spots all over his body for a second at a time. The first thing I thought was drug addict. I assumed he was a few moments away from asking me for money, maybe even drugs. The guy looked desperate. What, man, you alright? I asked. He didn't answer me. Then, he brought something to the window of my car. It was whatever he had been holding behind his back.
Man.
It was a gun. Without another word, he brought this gun up to the windowsill and angled it just right so that it would be pointing at me. My heart seemed to stop. In a split second, I was simultaneously rolling up the window and punching the car into reverse. Luckily, I had left the motor running for the AC and radio. In under a second, I was backing away from the guy who was fighting against the rolling window, and then he proceeded to walk toward my car as I backed up. He was waving the black gun around at me, shouting unheard profanities in my direction. I kept panicking, thinking that at any second he could point that thing at me and pull the trigger. The moment I could, I shoved it into drive and gunned it. I looked in the rear view. The guy was no longer standing outside. His truck lights were on, and he was pulling out as well. Oh God, this guy was coming for me, and I was right. I watched in the rear view as his bright lights came ever closer to my car. I pulled onto the main road, almost running a red light. While I fumbled for my cell phone, I noticed that the drugged guy didn't care for the red light at all. He had just turned. He drove straight through and came right up behind me. After an eternity of searching and swerving all over the road, I found my cell phone. To my dismay, it was dead. I hadn't charged it the night before, and I forgot that it had died earlier at work. Damn it. This is why you have a car charger handy. Luckily, though, I had filled my tank just that morning. I had a full tank of gas, not to mention the Ford Fusion I was driving got like 30 miles per gallon.
Damn it, nothing. What do you mean, man? Like, see, I'm about to have like a little stress thing. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but like this, you started clucking up since like last night. Like not the next day. It was last night. That's when. How you gonna go somewhere? How you gonna go anywhere and your phone is dead? Huh? How you gonna do that? Can't. Who you gonna call? You can't call nobody. Nobody. Well, you better be thank God is the only person that you need to thank because you left your engine on. If you didn't have your engine on, you would have bow right there in the face, Like your cheesy bread is gone. You know, like what? Like you are. I don't want to say it, but can we all agree that he was clucking up the night before, and not like I thought he was just clucking up like in the parking lot, but no, it was the night before. Like Are you serious? What is that smell? Oh, oh my God. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel like a stress little thing about to pop. It's about to pop. And when it pops,
I had to. I could outdrive this guy. Everything was going to be fine, I kept telling myself.
no, it's
The
not.
first thing I needed to do was head to the police station. Definitely not toward home. I didn't want this guy knowing where I lived. It was maybe 10 minutes to the police station, and this guy was riding my ass. Had I stopped too fast, he would have rammed into me, and I was already going about 20 over. I kept hoping that I'd see a cop. He'd definitely pull one of us over, if not both of us. Then I'd feel safe. But of course, when I needed them most, I didn't see a patrol car around. I turned on the street that led to the police station, and the moment I looked in my rear view, I saw those headlights turning the opposite direction. He knew where I was going, and he decided it wasn't worth it. Thank God, too, because I hadn't thought of it till now. I wasn't sure what he would do when I came to a stop. Something tells me he wouldn't have let me get inside that building.
Oh, yeah?
I know you're wondering, and yes, I did stop at the police station and file a report. And to this day, nothing has come of it. I could have died that night if I wasn't fast enough to pull away from that man, or if he had been a little bit more itchy to pull the trigger. I might not be here right now to tell this story. I hope I never see that guy again.
That was all you. That was all you. Like, nah.
Number 2. Read by Shivers.
Walmart Creeper by Scarlet Angel. I'm a woman, and I've always been fascinated by the samurai era in Japan, so I've always collected memorabilia from that area. I was getting groceries with my little girl, who was about 13 months old. This guy has been following me through the store. He was wearing a brown rain jacket with a hood up. Not actually unusual at the time, because it was raining buckets. As anyone who has ever walked through a Walmart and paid attention, you have noticed that there's a natural flow to the aisles. I'm just getting milk, bread, and a couple other items. So I went against the flow, as this guy follows us. He had a strong body odor, foul as if he had forgone bathing since puberty, some odd 40 years ago. He didn't have a cart, he was only following us closely. I finished my shopping, noting that the guy following us had picked up a few random items. I checked myself out and hurried out the door into the sprinkling darkness. As I was placing my little one in her seat, I kept a foot behind the wheel of the cart, putting it between myself and the end of my car. As I parked to the left side of the cart rack, I was left with maybe an inch of room between the car and the cart. The now familiar stench overwhelmed me, and I heard a low coughing laughter. I had begun preparing to put the milk on the floorboard, which, after my earlier shopping/memorabilia collecting, included moving a rather large, closely wrapped katana umbrella. Instinct demanded that instead of simply moving the umbrella, I take it out, swinging automatically for the fences. I missed. The man had grabbed my cart and was standing opposite me with a low, insane laughter. I snarled and shoved the cart at him, then made as if to withdraw the blade from the umbrella. As a survivor of previous attacks, I looked at him straight in his buggy eyes and told him to get lost. His eyes went to my hands, and for the longest second, his mouth stood open. The second my hand let go, I went off. The man ran away with a mark of the umbrella across his face, slamming into the Walmart Asset Protection Associate, who I knew from high school. As they loaded him into a police car, almost 20 minutes later, he just kept staring at me with his mouth open, but no words coming out.
Man, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I can feel it.
Number 3.
I can feel it.
Walmart Shadow.
What?
Submitted by Vindicated. If you want to meet the weirdest and or trashiest people out there, just go to your local Walmart on a weekday.
I'm not.
Actually, just Google Walmart and you can see some pretty hilarious or cringeworthy images of some of the oddities of the place. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's crazy how often people will refuse to look normal or approachable when they head out. I've walked behind a person here and there who obviously hadn't showered in a while, and I've even seen a kid pee in the floor when their mom was facing the other way. It didn't have to be so bad. I'm rambling, though. It wasn't a person I saw at Walmart that horrified me. It couldn't have been a person. I saw something else that scared the hell out of me. Being at Walmart was nothing more than a coincidence. Here is my story. This took place in Washington, not the capital. I've grown up here, and eventually I hope to head out and discover the States or see the world. For now, though, I was an outdoorsman stuck in my hometown. So, when I did go to Walmart, it was because it was convenient, close, and had outdoor equipment at the very back. That's usually where I headed. Now, this story takes place on a Wednesday morning. Most people were at work, or should have been at work, and I had taken a few vacation days. I was planning on going hiking or mountain biking, but I needed to pick up a new backpack. And mine was worn beyond the ages. I also needed a bigger water bottle. So, that morning, I stopped by and immediately smiled at the unusual lack of people there. The less folks, the better. Lines would be...
Vice versa. Put that in reverse. Back it up. No, he didn't just say that. He just... the more people... in your case, the more people, the better. Because the less people at Walmart and you're probably the only one there. No. 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 Really? Like, did... Sometimes you just gotta laugh at the people that be clucking up all the time. Sometimes you just gotta do a little chuckle because you can't do anything. You can't do anything to help them out. My God.
the place would be more quiet. I can't be the only one who thinks you can't go to Walmart without hearing a child scream or cry in the distance. Hopefully, I'd have none of that today, I thought. I made my way toward the back. Soon, the sudden presence of camo-colored products told me that I was near the outdoor aisles. I window shopped, so to speak, for a moment, eyeballing things I'd seen on TV that were a little bit out of my price range. It didn't hurt to look, though, right? Well, apparently, I was wrong. There were no clerks in the area, nobody manning the nearby desk. This wasn't weird, it was always difficult to find somebody to help you at this place. But something startled me. Someone walked by just outside of my view. I saw what looked like a person walk from one aisle to another, only appearing for maybe a third of a second. I hadn't seen someone so close since I entered the store, and I guess I wasn't ready for it. I almost jumped even. Remembering that I had a question about them carrying a certain brand, I decided to walk toward the end of that aisle to see if it was actually a clerk I had seen. When I reached the spot where I saw movement, I looked in the direction they would have gone. There was no one there. Of course, they may have been in a different aisle, so I walked forward and scanned the aisles. Still, no one. Now this all took place within the course of about 5 or 10 seconds. I saw movement. I had a question. I followed. And in that short amount of time, this person had disappeared, and I had been walking quickly to try to find this possible clerk, so they shouldn't have somehow outrun me. Immediately, I realized I must have actually seen nobody. Like how your eyes often see movement, then you turn and nothing's there. I shook my head and returned to my original aisle, looking at Yeti water bottles and portable coolers. Not a minute later, bam, the shadow walks across the aisle in the same direction, toward the same direction as well. At the corner of my eye, there was no mistaking it this time. Someone had walked past. Again, I headed toward their direction, walking even quicker this time, and attempted to find the person. But it was as if they had disappeared off of the face of the earth. I checked each aisle twice. Nobody was there. Something freaky was going on.
But you still don't. But you're still there. But you're still there. Like you're playing games right now. You're playing with your life right now. Right? I need. Just give me a minute. I need to talk to my soul for a second. Okay. So this is what I don't understand, right? If you see some shadows or you see something out of the corner of your eye, right, and you see it multiple times, do you still go on about your business, or do you kick rocks, you drop whatever you got, and you just haul it? Like, sometimes like I want to help people. I want to help. I want to try to help as many people as I can. But like, it's just hard when they can't help themselves. You feel me? You feel what I'm putting down? Like, it's hard. Like it's hard and it's stressful, and I can't. I don't know if I can do it anymore. Like, some people they just have to learn the hard way. How do you see multiple shadows, like out of the corner of your eye, and then when you go to check it out, it's nothing there. There's nobody there, but you see it. You see it out of the corner of your. Yes. Like, what? You don't. Oh my God. Oh, it's just some things. Some things I just can't do. I just can't do it anymore. Like, it's hard. So I can't do it anymore. This vein, the vein that's right here is about to finna pop. It's finna pop right now, unless someone or that person themselves takes care of the problem. I just can't do it anymore.
Maybe I needed glasses. Maybe I had gotten too hot before I came inside.
Or maybe you just need some Adidas to just kick it, to haul it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No idea. But there was definitely not another person around. I decided to go to the opposite end of the outdoor section. This Walmart was really big, and the whole section could easily have been its own little store. I just wanted to put some distance between that specific aisle and me. I found the fishing equipment and walked straight down. At the end, there was a wall with more products, mostly lures, tackle boxes, and the like. About 4 steps in, I see it again. This time it was different. It wasn't some flash out of the corner of my eye, or some blur. A figure, a large, solid black mass of a figure, stepped right in front of me.
Oh.
For a second, this blackness headed from the end of the aisle on the left and stepped over to the other end of the aisle on the right. It disappeared behind the shelves. I had jumped back, surprised and shocked. What the hell was that? I'm 26, and in my whole life I had never experienced or seen anything odd. Definitely nothing supernatural. But I had just seen something that didn't make any sense. The figure was about 6 or 7 feet tall, several inches over me. It looked like it had the build of a man, with broader shoulders and a thicker neck. It wasn't blurry like a faint shadow, it was solid black. What was freaky, though, even though it was solidly black, the middle seemed to be transparent. I honestly have never seen anything like it. Some sort of shadow person walking to and from aisles at Walmart, of all places. I was ready to go. I didn't need a new backpack that bad. After gathering myself, I turned tail and walked toward the exit. I shouldn't have let myself, but I kept peeking down every aisle as I walked.
Why you walking?
I was just scared and nervous. What if this thing was following me? I couldn't help myself. I had to scan every aisle that passed by. Tools, home repair, paint. I stared down to the end of each row. I even passed a few shoppers who were minding their own business. And then I saw it.
Oh my God. Y'all, I know what I'm doing, but I just want to ask y'all in the comment section. Just type. In story number 3, I would have blankety blank. Y'all already know what I would have done. So that's out of the question. Y'all already know what I would have done. Are you serious?
The shadow was there. I can't remember which aisle it was. It all happened so fast that I didn't even care to look. The same shadow, the same walk, this time coming toward me. I fell on my side as I tried to turn and run. I guess my body didn't keep up fast enough, and I tripped over myself. I had been staring at it, coming ever closer. But when I fell, I blinked. When I opened my eyes, the shadow was once again gone. I picked myself up and ran out of the store. People leered at me for running past them. I have no idea what exactly I saw that day. After doing a bit more reading online, it sounds exactly like a shadow person or shadow man, except I wasn't sleeping or dreaming. I was wide awake, in public, early in the morning, no later than 10 a.m. I know I saw something, and it terrifies me still. I don't think anything has ever really shook me up as much as that experience. I find myself leery to go down the hallways at my apartment. They aren't big, but at night, when there are a few too many shadows, I get a little more cautious before I walk anywhere. But why at Walmart of all places? I just hope this thing doesn't show itself again, especially at home.
That's enough to make me stop going to Walmart.
Number 4,
What's that
read by Shivers.
Is that real?
Wally World Creep by I Bay Blue Devil. Okay, so this happened to me on Tuesday, June 21st. I'm a 30-year-old female, but people mistake me for a 14 or 15-year-old girl.
Genetics.
My mom recently had knee replacement surgery, so I've been running a lot of errands for her, as well as taking her to physical therapy appointments. Tuesday was my grandma's birthday, and my mom needed me to go to Walmart to buy her the bottle of perfume that she wanted. While I was there, I figured I might as well get a few groceries I needed, and my mom also asked me to pick up a few groceries for her as well. I had a doctor's appointment earlier in the morning. Afterwards, I decided to go to the Walmart that was closest to the doctor's office. This particular Walmart was newer. So, I parked my car and go inside and grab myself a cart and head to the produce section to pick up some veggies for my guinea pigs and whatever my mom needed. Once I finished in that section, I head to the next aisle, which is the frozen food section. As I go to turn in the aisle, I notice this older man, probably in his late 50s to early 60s, taking glances at me. So, I figure no big deal. Maybe I look like someone he knows or something.
Hurry up and get out of here.
So, I'm in the frozen foods looking for the chicken my mom wants when this guy comes alongside me and says, "Hey, you look familiar. Where do I know you from?"
Wow.
I don't recognize him, but I'm thinking that maybe he knows my sisters, or he can possibly go to the church my mom goes to. It's a good-sized church, and everyone knows my mom there, and even though I or my sisters don't go there, the people know us too. So I'm thinking, maybe it's one of those two options. I tell him, "I'm sorry, but I don't recognize you." So he asks me my name, and I stupidly tell him that my name is Abby. I did so because I genuinely thought that he might actually know me, and he wasn't giving off any red flags. Then he says, "That name don't sound familiar. What high school do you go to?"
Wow.
I tell him, "I'm not in high school." He then says, "What's your full name again?" This is when I started to get the feeling that something isn't quite right. And since I already told him my real first name, there was no way in hell I was going to tell him my real last name too. So I just said my name was Abby Smith. He says, "How old are you?" So I say I'm 30 years old. At this, he looked completely shocked and said, "You're 30 years old? I thought you were about 15. Mind if I call you sometime?"
Oh no.
At this, I'm completely flabbergasted and disgusted, and for the moment, at a loss for words. Before I can even respond, he then asks, "Are you married?" And I say no. At that moment, I could have kicked myself. Why didn't I say yes? I was married, so this pedo would leave me alone. Then he says, "So, you won't mind if I call you sometime then?" This time, I managed to pull myself together enough to say that my boyfriend would mind very, very much. At hearing this, he just leaves, walks off without another word, and I'm left there in shock a little. This guy thought I was a 15-year-old girl, and he was trying to get with me and get my number. What the hell? After he left, this elderly woman came up to me and said, "Honey, are you alright? I was here in the aisle, and I heard everything." I told her that it was fine, and she said that she stayed in the aisle with me until she knew the guy was gone. And that there was no way she was leaving me alone with him. She said that he was disgusting, and she knew what his intentions were right away when he.
Okay, but what's your intentions, old lady? Because you just came out of nowhere. I know what his intentions was, but what about you? You're a complete stranger. You can have the same intentions, you know? I'm just saying. Don't rule nobody out, you know? His intentions can be yeah, that's it, all right. The old lady's intentions can be the same as the guy, as the old man, you know? Don't rule nothing out. Just saying. And you're one of those. The main woman that's in this story. You're one of those like people that's like oblivious to what's going on to you. Like, I act like that sometimes on a certain situation, but yeah, you're dead oblivious to what people say to you and stuff like that. Like, I forgot the first line that he said, but like obviously he was trying to holler at you from like the first couple of words that he said. What? How'd you not get that? You know, somebody needs to teach you, you know, not to be so oblivious all the time. But don't rule nobody out because you don't know this old lady, you know. She could act nice. She could be a sweetheart. She could act like a sweetheart. She could be real, you know, she could act like a very lovable old lady. But I'm trying to tell you, don't rule nobody out. I'm just saying.
I was just 15. I thanked her very much for not leaving me alone in the aisle, and afterwards hurried the hell up and got whatever else my mom wrote on her list. I didn't even get anything else other than veggies for my guinea pigs. I just wanted to get the hell out of that place. I could always go to the grocery store for myself any other time. Anyway, what the hell is wrong with people? I mean, really, this old pedo bastard thought it was a good idea to go to Walmart to try to hook up with 15-year-old girls.
I wish I knew the whole story.
Number 5. Who Hides in the Dark? Submitted by Sarah Wars. To start out, I'm an adult now, and I feel I should tell the story in the hopes it can help someone in the future. Now to start the actual story. I was a teenager, about 17 at the time. I was hanging out with 2 friends. Let's call them Emma and Amy. None of us were driving at the time, so we had Emma's mom drop us off at a local theater to see a new movie. We bought the tickets, then walked about half a block or more to a local Walmart to hang out. We had your natural creeps that follow young girls around. Maybe they thought we were going to steal something, I can't be sure. But, seeing that Amy would get the cops called for this kind of stuff, I didn't pay any attention to it. We ended up getting food in the McDonald's at the Walmart when we saw 2 boys sitting at a table. I felt uncomfortable when I saw them, but felt somewhat better when I knew that they were Amy's friends. We missed the movie, so we just played at Walmart with the 2 boys. I'll call them Jake and Jim. Jake, Jim, Emma, Amy, and I walked outside to wait for Amy's mom.
Okay.
Knowing that Emma's mom wouldn't be back to pick us up due to her work times. Jake and Jim walk up to a green truck and start smoking weed. Being a teenager that did stupid shit, I smoked as well. We go back inside to wait, because it was getting pretty cold, and we got kicked out due to the time it was at 1:30 in the morning. The boys promised us a ride home, as long as we walked to their house. We say no, and hang out for another half hour. In this time, Jim became my boyfriend, and Jake became Amy's boyfriend. I know it sounds stupid, I told you this, but it goes with the story, trust me. They ask about the ride again, and it's cold, late, and if we don't get home soon, we are in trouble, so we go to walk back inside Walmart to charge Emma's phone, thinking McDonald's would be open all night. But it wasn't, so we let Jake call someone.
You go to one of the 2 creepiest places. Are you serious? Walmart? Yeah. McDonald's? Really? Really? You go to one of the 2 out of many places that attracts weird, creepy people. Are you serious? Are you serious? I don't care how old you are. You gotta get your head on straight. Like, for real. How you don't go to the most two well known places, but yet they attract the most creepiest and scariest, weirdest places? Walmart, McDonald's. For real? For real. Okay. Wow, it just popped.
He says to wait inside. At this point, Jim has stolen a stupid child's toy, a football if I remember correctly, and we got kicked out again. It was about 15 minutes later when we hear cops coming to the store, and we ran into bad streets and into other people's yards to hide. Like I said, I was a stupid teenager. We walked Jake and Jim home, but we still had no ride. Now we are a mile away from Emma's house and have no choice but to walk. At this point, I should have called my parents, but I was scared of getting in trouble, so I didn't. We walk more and run from cops and hide in people's yards, so this didn't help the time. We get to a bridge that lets us know we are about halfway to Emma's house, but it was still far away just by walking. We are tired, our legs hurt, and it was so cold at this point that we looked like Rudolph with our bright red noses and started to lose feeling in our toes and fingers. We were dressed for a quick movie inside and back home, not some crazy night. I clutched my phone and walked through the pain just wanting to get home to warmth and a cozy bed. A red car drives by, then turns around and comes to us. It was a man. He was telling us to get in and asking where we are going. I back away and pull my phone out, but he has his out and insists we call our parents. We say no, and Amy gets in his car and tells us to follow. Now what I'm going to say sounds heartless, but I figured it's 3 against 1, so maybe I can make a run for it if things get crazy or tuck and roll. We get in and notice the children's car seat. He was nice and took us home and made sure we made it inside. Turns out he was an undercover cop that was looking for us, and he kept telling us that we would be fine with cops and everything. Now that's not the scary part. Yes, I want to say never take rides with strangers because you might not be lucky, but this is something I won't ever forget. Still, to this day, it affects my relationships. We finally get home around 4:30 in the morning, and we stay up for a little bit and talk about what the fuck we just did, and go to bed. I wake up randomly and felt like someone was watching me. I see an outline in the dark, and when I try to make it out, or who it was, I hear Jim's voice say, "It's okay, it's just me, go back to bed." I wake up thinking it was a dream and laughing about it with Emma. That's when she went white and dropped her spoon, splashing milk everywhere. We had been eating cereal. She looked at me with the look I haven't seen before, true fear, like she was asked to get in a stranger's car again. She told me she woke up too and saw the same thing. I freak out and say, "No, it's impossible. We were both just tired." We locked the door before going to bed. I remember it. We walked down to her laundry room to find the 2 big doors opened a little bit, like someone forgot to pull it shut completely. We call Emma's mom, and she yells at us because she never went down there and she assumed we left it open. Later, the boys came over, without us ever saying where Emma lived. We even got in trouble for them sitting outside waiting for us. I broke up with Jim after he tried to rape me. After saying he was a rape victim, it turned out he's the one who raped someone, and that's when I had enough. Still to this day, I don't know how he knew where Emma lived or how he got inside. So the lesson is, don't lie to your parents and call them when you're in need, especially of a ride or you want to get home. Don't get in a car with someone you don't know, and always get to know a person completely before you try to trust them, because it could cost you more than just being grounded. It could cost you your life.
Isn't there a question?
Whether you're skulking around a haunted house at night, trying to dig up ghosts and monsters, or simply out to get a gallon of milk, the horrors never stop. Evil never rests. If you think running down to the local Walmart for a pack of magic cards and a Snickers sounds safe, think again. Terror doesn't care where you are. Good night. Be sure to subscribe to Shivers for more creepy stories. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment. Oh, and subscribe to me too if you haven't already. Thanks. Time for the life or death question.
Here we go.
What is your favorite candy bar?
What?
I love caramellos. No matter how you say caramel, or is it caramel, these silky smooth diabetes causers will always have a soft spot in my heart. And a hard spot because it's probably forming a big amount of sugar and fat inside me. And hey, let me know yours in the comments. Thanks.
What, really? Why you gotta say it like that, though? Why you gotta say it in a creepy way? You make me not even like that candy no more. Thank God that's not my favorite candy, but, you know, in the comment section below, let me know what your favorite candy is, because mine is Twix, and that's all I'm saying. Snickers? Alright, she says Snickers. If you all heard, like, any, like weird and random sound effects, it's not because of me or the editing. It's because my cousin.
All I'm doing is sniffing.
And blowing your nose.
Because I'm sick.
And getting up. And whatnot. You know, they probably have questions. You know?
You want the rest of that popcorn?
What?
You want the rest of that popcorn?
No, here.
What kind is it?
Here.
What kind is it? Right
Here.
I want to taste it.
Here.
I just want to taste one.
One.
Yeah. What kind is that?
Here. Cut a corn. Yes, it is.
I need some sugar on it.
No, it don't.
Some butter and sugar.
It's already good.
Butter and sugar on popcorn is so good.
No. But I don't really go to Walmart
That's a
like
lot.
during the night. Really? You didn't even give me stay out of this. You didn't even give me a chance to finish it. But I try to go during the day because I know there's a lot of creeps and stuff and whatnot at Walmart during the night. And low key during the day, but like it's not as bad as at night. But if I have to go to Walmart, like, you know, and I would, but like, best believe I'ma have my junks on. I don't even need to say it. I'ma have my junks on. I'ma have my junks on, you know. But yeah, I try to go mostly during the day, not at night. And just saying, like, if you was to come with me at at Walmart during during the night and something pop off, just be prepared for me to be 6 miles out. You know, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. You know, while you still in Walmart freaking out, I'm already in the car and I'm halfway down the street. That's all I'm saying. Don't call me up and be like, hey, what happened to you? You already know what happened to me. You know, I warned you. I told you that this was going to happen, and it happened. See, this is why you... This is why you need to choose your friends wisely and all that, you know. And let your friends know the people, or let whoever, you know, just let people in general know, you know, what you're about. You know, you're not about that bull. You're not about them games. You're not about nothing like that. If something pop, just tell them. If something pop off, I'm 6 miles out. You know, you can still be here. You can still be frozen. You know, you can still be shooken up. You know, you can go ahead and check it out, whatever it is. But I'm not. I'm not. You know, that's just who I am. And I have no intentions of changing. So whatever I just said, tell your peoples that. You know, I'm a runner, not a fighter. Just saying. But that's it. Keep Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.